going to call the special meeting of the Christiansburg Town Council, September 16th, 2025, to order. Are there any adjustments to the agenda? Hearing none, we're here tonight to discuss and interview 4 candidates for the interim town council position that will end on December the 31st, 2025, to finish the unexpired term of Casey Jenkins. So what we will do is I will ask the candidates if they would retire to the administrative conference room, and we will call you up when it's time. We've got a couple of house cleaning items, and we'll call you up when it's time to come. So, yes, thanks, Alicia. Okay. So, as you see in your package, we have 6 questions that we will ask each person. We cannot ask anything other than these 6 questions. If you may follow up and ask them about a particular response, but it's only to that particular question. So we'll hear from all 4 of them. I'm thinking there's probably a 6 to 8 minute. I'm going to come in, and the first question we will ask, and I'll ask that, is tell us about yourself and why you're interested in the town council position. Mr. Bishop, you'll ask the first question to the first.
What?
Ms. Hicks, the second.
Wait a minute.
You're number 2, and John is 3.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3.
Well, yeah.
So, because you said you was going to do the first one, you threw me off.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So, in the order that we will interview tonight is in the order in which we received the applications. So first we'll hear from Chris Waltz. Yep.
Mayor, is there an order for the rest of the questions?
Well,
Or are you just going back and forth?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I wasn't watching you.
2,
1.
3, yes,
3.
question 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. It'll
Okay.
work out.
We got it.
For every person? For every person?
Yes.
I'll ask the same question?
Yes, we have to.
Well, I know.
Yeah, but yeah.
The same order?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what, Chris?
Can I ask you something? Why is somebody here? Read.
Doesn't matter. Didn't ask him to come on a special meeting. Chris? So what we'll do is we have a series of 6 questions that we will ask you. And then if someone had a question about a particular question, at that time, they'll ask you to clarify.
Okay.
So the first question I'll ask you is tell us about yourself and why you're interested in this town council position.
Chris Waltz, 1370 Rigby Street.
It's not citizens' comments.
He's just so used to doing
He's used to it.
I'm ex-Navy, 10 years. Currently work for Norfolk Southern as a locomotive engineer. As you all know, I go to the meetings and have for several years, town council committees, the various boards, the planning commission. I'm pretty much up to speed to everything that's going on in the town, the farmer's market, the Hickok Street, the history of them. So there wouldn't be a whole lot to bring me up to speed on any of the issues that will be faced for the remainder of the term to the end of the year. And I'm seeking the position because I think I could be good at it and represent the citizens of Christiansburg.
Thank you.
Okay, Chris. Have you previously served on a board, council, or committee? If so, what were your contributions?
Is that referencing the town or just,
Any, basically, probably any committee, council?
well, at work, I'm on the safety committee. I'm also part of the close call confidential reporting, which is an initiative between NASA, the Federal Rail Administration, Norfolk Southern, and rail labor, where we analyze close call incidents and recommend corrective action and changes to railroad rules to improve railroad safety. It's the first Class 1 railroad in the nation that's done this. I serve on that, and we meet and we go over incidents. I've been on various safety committees in the military. So, I mean, that's about all I've done. At one point I did research, development, testing, and evaluation of electronic equipment in the military. So I have some experience with that. And we wrote reports and after the evaluation of the equipment and submitted them for review.
Okay, thank you.
John?
Hi, sir. How are you doing today? I know you had surgery today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you for being here today. How do you balance personal views with the views of your constituents?
Well, as a citizen, as I am now, personal views are my views. When you're filling an elected office, your views aren't really your own. Your views are supposed to represent the people you represent. And, I believe in communication with citizens and to represent their views to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Ms. Hockett,
Yes.
and then we'll go over to Ms. Bowman, and then we'll go back to Mr. Wilson.
So what do you believe makes an effective town council member?
The ability to listen to citizens, the ability to communicate clearly with not only the citizens, but staff, be honest with everyone involved, and basically look out for the best interest of the citizens of the town.
Thank you.
Ms. Bowman?
Knowing this is a temporary role, what would you hope to accomplish during your time in office if appointed?
Well, look out for the best interest of the citizens. I understand that this will be a total of five meetings,
5 seconds, whatever, yeah.
maybe a work session. But, to research and analyze the stuff that would come before me as council and listen to the citizens, get their input, and represent them the best I can.
Mr. Wilson?
Good evening, Chris. What qualities or skills do you believe set you apart from other candidates?
Well, as I said before, I attend as many meetings as I can. All the meetings, even the ones that aren't televised, the Arts Advisory Board, I go to the Parks and Rec when I can, the Aquatic Center when I can, the Town Council committees that each of you are assigned to. And I research. I do a lot of research. And I have paperwork, stacks of paperwork at home from all the various meetings I've attended over the years, from the Planning Commission to all of them. And I keep that in a file. And when something comes up, I usually, when I notice it on the agenda, I spend hours researching all I can find on it.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If you would ask, would you give Ms. Cox?
history. Do you have to go back?
Go back to the top.
They want to know what they do after they're finished.
They may leave if they'd like, or they want to stay for the end results, that's up to them.
I think they come back over here since they finished the
No.
question.
I wouldn't think so.
Deanna, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you all?
I'm very well. So we have a series of about 6 questions that we're gonna ask you, and, each council person will ask a particular question. I'll start out with, tell us about yourself and why you're interested in the interim town council position.
Well, I am now retired, haven't been retired maybe almost a year, but I spent the entirety of my career in working with local governments. So for the first 30 years of my career, I was a local government auditor. And so I worked with a regional accounting and auditing firm in Blacksburg. And we audited probably 75% of the counties from Roanoke southwest, and a whole lot of the towns and cities. But when I retired from there in 2017, I didn't feel like I was old enough to retire yet. So I came here to Christiansburg, where I served as the Deputy Director of Finance for almost 8 years when I retired, which gave me the opportunity to see governmental accounting from the inside, whereas I'd spent 30 of my years as an external auditor looking at finances and stuff from the outside. So that's basically my career history. My husband and I have lived in the New River Valley for 38 years. We've been married for 34 of those, and we've lived in Christiansburg for the last 8 years. I have 1 adult son, 3 very loud corgis. Surprised you might be able to actually hear them down here. 2 cats and a rescue bunny. I live in the Boswell House, which is a historic home on East Main Street, and have become very interested, maybe a little obsessed, with the history of my house and the town. And I've really grown to love Christiansburg. So I think that's really my main motivation in applying for a position, the interim position on council, is my whole career has been in service of local governments, and I would like to continue that.
Okay.
Okay. Have you previously served on a board, council, or a committee? If so, what were your contributions?
Yes, I currently serve on the Montgomery Floyd Regional Library Board, and I have served as secretary on that board for 2 years. I feel like my contribution on that board has been twofold. I've provided services as secretary, but also I bring a financial background to the board, so I feel like I can do a good analysis of the budget and have some input there. And I think that's my only board experience. I'm the director of a nonprofit that is a nonprofit that I started in 2020. It has a very small board, and most of my duties for that nonprofit, which is the Inmate Family Assistance of the NRV, is I serve as the operational person for that board. And then I have board members who are the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. But those are my board experiences.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Hicks?
Are you doing okay today?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good, good. I had to look up your address because you were saying about the history about your house, and to tell you the truth, that's one of my favorite houses in Christiansburg too.
Mine
It's
too.
really gorgeous,
It's
really
always been
pretty.
one of my favorites.
How do you balance personal views with the views of your constituents?
Well, it's always been my opinion that people serving, especially on local boards, that personal views, whether they be political or other social views, are just that. They're your personal views. And I really don't feel like they should play a part in the decisions that you make for the town or the citizenry as a whole. I feel like that's something I can do a good job of. I certainly have my beliefs like everyone else, but I think there's a place for that. And I don't think it's on town council, personally.
Okay.
Does
Ms.
that answer
Hopkins?
your question?
Yeah, I think so. We got mine, yeah.
Can you kind of give a little bit more insight as far as the answer
Specifically,
about what you just answered?
that I don't think that your personal views have a place as a council person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my answer. I don't think they have a place on council. So I think as you're making decisions for the town as a whole or the citizenry as a whole, that your personal political or religious or other beliefs shouldn't come into play. That what you're trying to do is do something for the good of the whole, regardless of what somebody else's beliefs might be, whether they conflict with yours or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that any better?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. What do you believe makes an effective town council member?
I feel like it's somebody who's engaged, who's interested, who has a love for their community. I have, like I said, I've spent the last 8 years in Christiansburg, and I've really enjoyed getting to know people in the 2 neighborhoods that I've lived in. And I think as a council member, if you're engaged in your neighborhood and you're engaged in your community, which I do try to be, I think that makes a good council person. I think you're somebody who wants to do well for your community to the best of your ability, and I think that's it.
Thank you.
Ms. Bowman?
Knowing that this is a temporary role, what would you hope to accomplish during your time in office if appointed?
Well, I think partly I see it as a learning experience to see what it's like to serve on a council, to serve a constituency. In the event that in the future I'm interested in running for council. I also saw it as an opportunity to help my community. Like, you all have a vacancy and you need somebody to fill it. I'm a retiree who has extra time. I know a lot about local government, and for that reason, I really felt that maybe I could have some input that might be helpful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What qualities or skills do you believe set you apart from other candidates?
Well, I'm probably beating a dead horse, but I think that my experience in local government is probably the biggest thing. Local governments, as you all well know, especially if you came on and didn't really have any experience with local governments, they operate under different financial rules than for-profit businesses. And I think my prior experience and my education gives me a little bit of a leg up on understanding local government finances, budgets, and all of that. I think also just, having been a CPA, I think I have a little bit of, I guess, maybe a possibility of understanding governmental finances maybe better than somebody who has never looked at a financial statement from a local government before. And I think that's probably my biggest strength.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
That it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mrs. Hill?
I think for the most part, personal views are kept so separate from everything else in town council anyhow. Have you seen any of those come up?
Ashley, how are you this evening?
I'm well, how are you?
Very well. We have about 6 questions that we will just general questions for you about the position, your views of it. So the first thing that I will ask you is, tell us about yourself and why you're interested in this interim town council position.
Sure, so I'm Ashley Hill. A little bit about myself. My foundation is in Christ. I'm married to a software engineer. I have 3 young school-aged children, and I'm a small business owner. I own the Chandlery, which is a candle atelier and home boutique in our downtown. My interest in serving as interim town council member comes from my investment in the community. And I feel like this would be a great opportunity for me to contribute in a meaningful way. I'm also interested in running for town council in the future, and I feel like stepping into this interim position would give me a firsthand experience with the responsibilities and the time commitment required. So serving now would allow me to better understand a council member's role and responsibility in council's process so that I could be fully prepared to a long-term commitment in the future.
Thank you.
Okay. Have you previously served on a board, council, or committee? If so, what were your contributions?
Oh, yes, sir. I have served on St. Paul's board. It's the preschool here in downtown. Served for 2 full school years. The responsibilities there included helping to guide the preschool along so that it's not only successful but thriving. So coming up with innovative ideas, respectful discourse, problem solving, things like that. That also extends over into the committees I've served on. The Downtown Christiansburg Inc. or DCI sat on their Economic Vitality Board. And then I've also sat on the Facade Grant Committee for 2 years, and I'm currently serving a 3rd time on that committee as well.
Okay, thank you.
Mrs. Hicks?
How you doing? You doing all right? Glad you're here. How do you balance personal views with the views of your constituents?
So I think in serving our community has to come first over my own personal views. I feel like my personal views will in some way guide the decision-making process, but overall it's a community-driven view, and that's how I would operate in any decision-making process.
Ms. Hockett?
What do you believe makes an effective town council member?
So I think it's somebody who is willing to show up. That's why I mentioned having the opportunity to serve in the interim position to see if it's something I could commit to in the long term, considering that I am a mom of 3 young kids and they're my priority and running a small business. So I think first and foremost, somebody that can show up. They're dedicated to bettering our town, serving well in their capacity, and making sure their contributions are far-reaching in our community. Just an overall sense of purpose in helping Christiansburg to be a better place.
Thank you.
Knowing that this is a temporary role, what would you like to accomplish during your time in office if appointed?
So I think there are a lot of really great things that council already has in place, and I'd love to help build on those. I think one of the things is helping Christiansburg balance progress forward while also maintaining that small town feel where everybody, we love to live here. So I think any positive contribution towards just Christiansburg's movement forward is how I would like to play a role in the short time.
Thank you.
So what qualities or skills do you believe set you apart from other candidates?
So like I've been asked and mentioned, I've sat on and held several positions on committees and boards. I have led small groups. I volunteer with my children's soccer teams, and I also run a small business. And I believe that has given me a lot of practical experience, from collaborative leadership to innovative idea development, respectful discourse, creative problem solving, project management, and being able to adapt quickly when needed. And I feel like those are the skills council's already using to ensure that Christiansburg thrives. So not only would I bring that to the table to complement you all, but I would also bring a fresh perspective and community connection.
Thank you.
We're good. Thank you very much. It didn't hurt a bit, did it?
No, I think
Not bad at all, not bad at all.
Thank you.
you. Get that thing down to 42
hear me?
short seconds.
Okay, I think this is good.
Very good. So, Amelia, how are you tonight?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Good. Well, thank you for applying. We have six questions that we will ask. They're the same questions we have asked every other candidate tonight. So I will start out with, tell us about yourself and why you're interested in the interim town council position.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. My name's Amelia Tuckwiller, and I live at 260 Sequoia Circle. I am a lifelong resident of the New River Valley, and I first moved here when I was 2 years old to Christiansburg. My family eventually moved to Newport in Giles County, and I graduated from Giles High School. And then I went to Virginia Tech and majored in communications with a focus in public relations. After graduation, I got a job as a senior office manager at a chemical engineering firm and bought my house on Sequoia Circle. And then I decided to go back to school to become a teacher. And I took night and weekend classes at the Higher Education Center in Roanoke through the University of Virginia and received my master's in curriculum and instruction. So I have been a first grade teacher with Montgomery County Public Schools for 15 years. And I've lived in my house. It was 20 years in February. And I have also served on the advisory board for the Christiansburg Aquatic Center for the past 13 years. I'd like to be on, or to fill this vacancy. I like serving the public. I like working with the public, solving problems, communicating with residents. I love promoting Christiansburg. I love living here. And so I think this is kind of a great opportunity to kind of get my feet wet, learn a little bit more about town council and the other aspects. I've kind of, with the aquatic center, I didn't think I'd be learning about solar panels and HVAC, but I've learned a lot, and it's kind of opened up a whole new world for me as a teacher. I'm not really around those kind of things, and so I think there's a lot to learn from the other departments within our town, and I thought that this short-term vacancy would be a great way to kind of learn and get my feet wet.
Okay, you sort of answered this question, but I'm going to ask it again. Have you previously served on a board, council, or committee? If so, what were your contributions?
Well, this is not limited to the town. This is any board experience.
Oh, okay.
Including, okay, sorry.
Well, yes, of course, the Aquatic Center. And then I've also done a lot of event planning through the town of Blacksburg, through Downtown Blacksburg, Inc., and the Blacksburg Partnership. And I've also helped be on the committees for the Downtown Christiansburg, Inc. with the food truck rodeo. In fact, I was involved with those prior to the food truck rodeo when it was Kevin Stoner and his downtown tailgate events. I was a volunteer then, and I've been a volunteer every year at the food truck rodeo ever since. So with my paid experience as an event planner and then paired with the volunteer experience, I've kind of got a lot of event planning under my belt. And working with the public. Prior to all that, I was a volunteer at the Greenbrier Classic PGA Golf Tour. And I volunteered there for 6 summers, and then I was hired as the volunteer coordinator. So that was actually, that became a paid position. But I had 850 volunteers, and just managing people and places and schedules and supplies and uniforms. It was a lot to undertake, but I met a lot of people and liked solving problems, finding solutions, connecting with people from all over Virginia and West Virginia. And so I just like to problem solve and just find solutions when needed. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you.
How do you balance, how you doing? Are you doing okay? And the house on Sequoia, I'm sure you were probably one of the first owners, weren't you?
I was. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you balance personal views with the views of your constituents?
Well, you have to put your personal feelings behind and look at it from all angles. Especially, I think when I went into the aquatic center thinking I didn't like the prices for a single person. They weren't comparable. A couple was allowed to go to the aquatic center for $300, and a single person had to pay $250 back when it first opened, and I didn't agree with that. But when you get in there, you kind of see, well, these are kind of the way things are because of this, and you learn a lot, and you really do have to learn the other angles and kind of, the HVAC and all that. Some of it I don't agree with, but then sometimes you just kind of say, well, this is what's best for the pool. Sometimes it might be Red Cross regulations. So I do believe in, doing your research and learning and talking to people and hearing other points of view and seeing both sides to every story so you can kind of then decide what might be best for Christiansburg.
What do you believe makes an effective town council member?
An effective town council member is approachable, not intimidating, and communicates. I definitely believe in being proactive and like I said, doing your research and planning. I think, with event planning, I found that if you were more proactive and kind of talk to each department about what they need, then you ended up having to be less reactive. And, there's always fires to put out, but just being approachable and studying and doing your research and listening to people. Sometimes people aren't always happy, and I understand that, and you just have to kind of listen, make them feel heard, and then, work together to come up with a solution. I do that every day at school with parents, and I know they behave one way at school and one way at home, and it's like, I'm not in this alone, and they're not in this alone. How can we work together? So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Hi. Knowing that this is a temporary role, what would you hope to accomplish during your time in office if you're appointed?
I hope I can work well with the team, making effective decisions for Christiansburg, and just anything that continues to push us forward. I think Christiansburg's doing a lot of things in the right direction, and I'd like to just, see that continue. I know other communities that aren't as lucky as we are with our aquatic center and with our parks and our recreation department, and I know that they are, working on water and water repair, but I know people in other communities that are boiling their water every other week. So I think if I can just work with the team to make sure we continue the progress that we're making, I think that would be enough for me.
Thank you.
What qualities or skills do you believe set you apart from other candidates?
Well, I think I work well with people. I communicate well, maybe not in public speaking, but I communicate well with others, work well with a team. In fact, with event planning, I love sitting down with Public Works and the fire department, the fire marshal, and getting to know different people, the town electricians. I really enjoyed that part, and I think working with others to help solve problems, I think I would be good at that. Dependable, reliable, professional, and I also maintain confidentiality when needed. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay, thank you for having me. Thanks.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we go into a closed meeting under Code of Virginia 2.2-3711A1 for discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees or employees of any public body, and evaluation of performance of departments or schools of public institutions of higher education where such evaluation will necessarily involve discussion of the performance of specific individuals. The closed meeting is being held for discussion of a vacant town council position.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk?
Councilman Bishop,
Aye.
Councilwoman Bowman,
Aye.
Councilwoman Hicks,
Aye.
Councilwoman Hockett,
Aye.
Councilman Wilson.
Aye.
That is 5-0. Thank you. We will take about a 3 or 4 minute break while the room clears. Ms. Downs, will you remain with us?
And move to certify that the town council of the town of Christiansburg meeting and closed meeting in the best of each member's knowledge discussed only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law, and only such matters as are identified in the resolution to enter into closed meeting.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Bishop,
Aye.
Councilwoman Bowman,
Aye.
Councilwoman Hicks,
Aye.
Councilwoman Hockett,
Aye.
Councilman Wilson.
Aye.
That is 5-0. Thank you. Council action on the matter. We had a very good discussion on all candidates. And I think you all performed very well. It is the decision of the town council to appoint Deanna Cox for the remaining term ending December the 31st. Deanna, thank you, and
Believe we should have a vote.
very good.
Okay.
Can we make a vote today?
Yes, you
So I make a motion that we appoint Ms. Deanna Cox to town council
Second.
in the
Yeah,
vacancy.
motion and a second. Discussion. Madam
I am
Clerk?
grateful
Oh,
for
I'm
all of you to show up today.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was not a easy decision, believe it
No,
or not.
it
I mean,
wasn't.
it's just, yeah, it wasn't easy. And I hope, no one took this personally, but we just need to do what we need to do. But we thought it's the best thing for the town for right now.
Thank you.
Sorry, okay. I'm finished.
Councilman Bishop,
Aye.
Councilwoman Bowman,
Aye.
Councilwoman Hicks,
Aye.
Councilwoman Hockett,
Aye.
Councilman Wilson.
Aye.
That is 5-0. Ms. Cox, welcome aboard. I will get with you in the morning. I'll write a letter to the clerk of courts if you would like to take your oath of office, but we would like to have you seated on this council table next Tuesday night. Thank you. And again, y'all did a very good job, everybody. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to second to adjourn. Anybody question that one?